What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I am bringing you guys a video for June 8th, 2024. I missed the video last night. It's a little bit difficult with baseball, so for this video and moving forward here, I'm actually going to start something a little bit different for you guys. I'm going to give you like the three leans that I have for props the next day, and you guys can either lock them in on Sleeper, Chalkboard, Dabble, Underdog, doesn't matter. You guys can put them in wherever you want, but I'm gonna run through the entire slate for the next day just to kind of give us like an idea of where these games are at, what I like for the teams. Mainly, I'm just doing pitcher analysis the day before, and then you can look up hit statistics and all that stuff as well. But I just like to get a general idea of where the pitching matchups are, and that's like huge for the hits parlays because obviously we're not going to take, even though like today is a good example for the Dodgers. Both the Dodgers and Yankees have great pitchers in their starting lineup right now, and they're both great hitting teams. But because they're facing solid pitching matchups on each team, doesn't matter that they're both good hitting teams. I completely stayed away from that game, and it's just stuff like that. So even if a team may be better, if they have a weak pitcher where they got a lot of hits per innings pitch, whatever the analysis that we're doing on it is, I think that it all starts with the pitching matchups. So moving forward, because it's hard for me to get the videos out on YouTube in time, like late night videos, I think that this is going to be a better way to go about it. So I'll give you the three leans for who I like in the hits parlays, but they're going to be a little bit longer videos because we're going to run through all of the stats, and I'm going to give you guys my analysis on it. So that's going to be the plan here moving forward for the hits parlay videos. I just think it's going to give you guys way more value overall as well. Kind of get an idea of how we do the statistical breakdowns. But without further ado, let's go in and get to the slate. So it's a pretty big one. Where are we at? Okay, cool. I have the Braves +1, so I needed that. Pretty big slate for tomorrow. There's a couple of undecideds in here, so I'm going to have to go back and look at that tomorrow morning before the games start. Those are mainly for like my straight plays for VIP, but we'll take a look into both these guys just because. But first off, starting with the Phillies and the Mets, looking at Suarez for the Phillies, he's a stud. So he's got a 1.7 ERA and he's 9-1. The Phillies are a great team, so their records are going to be better regardless. But if we take a look in, so for our analysis for the hits parlays, we're looking at earned runs, we're looking at innings pitched, and then hits per innings pitched. So we generally want to fade guys that are giving up a lot of earned runs. That's more like team wise. But we need to look at the hits per innings pitched to get a good analysis on whether the guys are getting shelled or if they're not. So when we go in and we look, in 5 innings for a starter is basically considered a quality start. Anything below that, usually they're getting shelled early and they get pulled. Or if they just come in like this one, he probably came in relief, I would assume, because he's not, he only threw 23 pitches, 2 strikeouts, 0 earned runs. So you just got to be like kind of mindful of stuff about like that. But we're looking in here, he's got 3 and 5, 3 hits, 2 and 6, a bunch of zeros in there, and good games. 6 innings, 9, 7, 1 earned run in 8, 3 and 6, 0, 7, 0, 5, 1, 7. So that's basically his only bad game was at Colorado. So the overs in Colorado tend to always hit just because the altitude's higher. So when a pitcher, even though he's a stud, gets shelled in Colorado or at least gets multiple earned runs, I kind of take it with a grain of salt, honestly. But we can see that this guy's just an absolute beast. He's only allowed 43 hits and 74 innings pitched, so definitely do not take Rangers hits parlay props tomorrow because they are going to struggle. But let's go in and look at, or not Rangers, the Mets. Look at Manea. I think that's how you say his name. Got some crazy hair. 0 and 6, 1 and 5. So he got shelled here by KC. 6 and 3, 2 and 5, 0, 4. How many pitches? Wow, 101 pitches in 4 innings is crazy. 4 and 2/3. 1 and 5, 3 and 6, 1 and 6, 2 and 5, 2 and 5, 5. So he got shelled a couple of times, but honestly, like not terrible. I mean, the 6-3 and then 5-5 are kind of the only like really bad games that he has. 50 hits and 57 innings pitched. So he's not terrible. 3.63 ERA, 3-2 record, but automatically, just because the Phillies are a better team, I'm leaning towards the Phillies. And Suarez is just an absolute stud. So when I go through the slate, I'm constantly making notes in my note thing. So I'm going to say Phillies, Suarez, stud. But Mets at home. This is mainly just for the straight plays that I'm going to play on it. I just look at the odds and kind of wager all of that going into it. So 155 for money line on Philly isn't that bad, actually. Just got to pay attention to that for tomorrow. So that's the first one. And this is what I do for every single game. Every single day, I just go in here and I am looking at all of the stats. 0-5, 4-5, 6-5. So we got shelled in those two against the Mets and the Marlins. Not like crazy great teams either. 2-6, 0-7. That's a good game against Cleveland. 2-6, 1-7, 3-3. Got shelled there against the Cubs. Man, 76 pitches in 3 innings is a lot. You're supposed to have like 11 an inning. I know because I was a pitcher. 1-5, 8-5 against the Nationals. Got shelled. Okay, so he doesn't have the greatest track record. I mean, honestly, it's not that great, even though he's on the Braves. So keeping that in mind, I mean, in 3.88, he's not terrible, but he hasn't gone like crazy deep into games. So he's probably going to get pulled around 5 based on what we just saw there. Mackenzie Gore, okay, 3.57. 3-5, 2-5, 0-5, 3-4, 1-6, 2-5, 3-2, 2-2. So the 2s and 1s aren't like that big of a deal, especially if they're going later. Even 6 and a third, 2 isn't crazy bad. So he got shelled against the Mets. Yep. So I kind of like Gore a little bit more just in the pitching matchup alone, mainly because what's his name? Morton doesn't go that long. So that's probably why it's 135, because the Braves are a much better team than the Nationals. So they're not like crazy, like different. It's not like Gore is just an absolute stud over Morton. So I'm going to write. I still kind of like the Braves, even though they're at Washington. I'm just going to make note. Like Gore, a little more, but that's at home. Check over. Just because they both kind of get shelled, so take a look at what the over's at just for shits and gigs. So here, check pitching matchups in the morning. Getting blown up by birds. All right. Woods Richardson. So he's kind of a stud. 1-6, 2-5, 1-3. Got pulled early. That's a weird game. 0-6, 5-4. You got shelled there against the Blue Jays. Decent hitting team. 3-4 against Astros. Okay, so he's not going crazy long either. Kind of averaging around 4 or 5. Oh, can't do that anyway. All right, yeah, we'll look at that for tomorrow. I made note of it. Check the pitching matchup tomorrow. So Woods Richardson, he's all right. The Twins are a little bit better, I think, than Pittsburgh, but kind of hard to tell here. So check pitching matchups in the morning. Hate that there's 2 of those today. But let's go in and look at Heaney. Not doing that well this year. 1-4, 6-3, 2-3, 3-5, 4-6, 1-7, 1-6. 2 good outings there. 2-5, 2-3 shelled, 3-3 shelled. Not sure why it got pulled early there. And then 0-6. He had a good outing against the Marlins, but I am likely going to fade him tomorrow. We'll see. He kind of gets shelled, and they lose a lot when he's pitching. So I'm going to keep that in mind. But yeah, we'll just see who the Giants are putting up. That's going to depend on it. I will likely take the Giants over Rangers, though. It just depends on the odds and everything. I go through these, just a little color commentary. I go through these every single day, and I'm making notes on like unders and overs and which teams I like and stuff like that. But I could love a team and like the pitching matchups, whatever. But then if the odds are weird, or if I'm checking in action too to see where the money's at, if I can tell that there's like sharp action on the other side of where I want to go, then I'll just kind of stay away from it. But I just like to make all these notes the day before just so I can review them before I'm placing my bets. 1-4, 5-1 got shelled by the Yankees. 6-3, back-to-back shells. 1-5, 0-6, 1-7. That's a good outing against the Dodgers. 0-5, 3-6 got hammered. Twins. 3-6, meh. 1-6, 1-6. So this he's getting shelled. Good old Gossman. 4.6 ERA, so we're keeping that in mind. I need the Braves to score one more. It is likely going to be it is okay. 0-5. Oh, this guy. Yeah, I stayed away last time because didn't have much stats on him. He was a bum last year. So yeah, it's kind of sketchy because I really want to go off of this season, but last season he just got wrecked. Come on, go back. So I don't really like. I'm going to look for an over on this. The Blue Jays are a better team, so I'm just going to write Blue Jays in here. Blue Jays, not a fan of the pitching matchup, but Jays better team. Jays better. Check odds. All right. Now to the Orioles. What are we at here time-wise? 13 minutes, not bad. Okay. Yeah, these are going to be a little bit longer. They may be like 20, maybe 30-minute videos, something like that. But I feel like it's a good whole slate analysis for us to do. And there's not going to be this many games all the time either. There's a lot of games tomorrow. Saturday, so it makes sense. 1-4, 1-5, 2-4, 1-5, 0-7, 5-2. So against Tampa Bay, you got wrecked. Okay, so decent outings. Not going that long, though. Don't really like that, but come on. I have Orioles money line as well, so I'm hoping they can pull this out. Up 1 right now. Taj Bradley. Oh, yeah, we are taking Orioles. I can already tell you. I remember this guy. 1-6, 2-5, 5-7, 0-5, and then 9-3 against Baltimore. So he just got destroyed. That was like last week. So definitely like that a lot. We're taking Orioles because I keep spelling Orioles wrong. Orioles, what's his name? Bradish. I wanted to say Radish. Stud and his name again? Fade Bradley. Fade Bradley plus bats. All right. We got Boston versus good old Nastrini. Nastrini is, I already know where we're going on this, even though that Bello hasn't been doing that great. But whenever Nastrini's in, you fade him. 2 and 5, 4 and 5, 1 and, that actually, I didn't put him in here, but Rafael Devers is probably a good pick for a hits parlay tomorrow. I did not see that Nastrini was pitching when I was going for my leans, but I would take Devers. Pretty comfortable with 0.5. 4 and 5, 2 and 5. So he's just not going crazy long, and he's getting shelled in a couple of games. Makes me nervous, but it's the White Sox, so we don't have to worry too much about him. Bello is just kind of rough. Gonna look for an over on that, depending on where it's at. 8.5 might buy down a point, but Nastrini is just so bad. So 2 and 5, 5 and 3, 8 and 3, 3 and 5, 4 and 4. Guy just gets rocked. 9.74 ERA, and 0 wins. So all the losses have gone to him, haven't gone to the bullpen. It's kind of interesting, but man, I need Cleveland and I need the Braves to score. I have their +1, so cover, but that's annoying. So I am going Boston, fade Nastrini, look for over because Bello is kind of weak. All right. Cubs and Reds. Cubbies are getting pounded lately. So Ben Brown isn't like that bad. He's got a good amount of quality starts. He's gotten shelled a couple of times, but 6 and 1 is his bad one. Really bad one. 1 and 4, 0 and 4, 1 and 6, 0 and 2. So he probably came in for relief in those two. 3 and 3, 2 and 4. Yeah, they kind of put him in relief for a while, but he is a starting pitcher. So he's played well up until this last game against the Reds. So that's actually good to note too. It'll be like 6 days before, but because they're up against the Reds, that's good. Good little stat we can take. So I'm already kind of thinking fade the Cubs. Abbott's all right. He's actually better than his ERA, I think. 2 and 5, 2 and 5, 1 and 7, 2 and 6, 1 and 4, 4 and 5. That took him down a bit. 2 and 5, 2, 1, 0. Got destroyed there by the Cardinals. That's his very bad game. 3 against the Rockies at Colorado. So again, with the altitude, it's not a big deal if pitchers give up a lot. The ball tends to leave the ballpark in Denver. But we're going fade. No, not fade. We'll go Abbott over Brown plus Reds at home, and they're hot. The Reds are red hot right now. I have them in the money line as well, and they are up 3-1. Cool. Nice. Been killing VIP lately. We're up over 10 units since last Friday. And I had like a bad day yesterday. I went 4 and 2. So I'm just murdering books. There we go. 6-3. Love to see it. Love to see it. Thank you, Orioles. I love the Orioles. Fun team to watch. 1-6, 3 and 5. 6, 1, 6, 5 and 4. 2 and 5. 3, 5. Kind of against Houston, at Houston. Okay. He's all right. Nothing special. 3.74. Nothing special. We like to see ERAs below 3. Those are usually studs, what we consider studs. See Mize. It's a tricky one. Man, the Brewers are just destroying them right now. 3 and 4, 2 and 5, 2 and 6, 0 and 6, 2 and 5, 5 and 5. Yeah, I'm gonna fade Mize. Definitely a fade. So Brewers, fade Mize. Come on. Fade Mize plus bats. Check over. Anytime there's two really bad pitchers, not bad, two below average pitchers, I tend to look for the over just to see where the line's at. Sometimes we can get away with some cheap lines or buy down a point if the juice is there. I tend to do that a lot too. Taking the alts, 4 and 5, 4 and 5, 2 and 6. Bunch of twos. So he's actually, Castillo's a stud. Like he's better than his record, and I think he's better than, 2.99 isn't terrible, but he is a good pitcher. He has been for a couple of years, but I definitely already like the Mariners, but we'll see who Casey's throwing. Alec Marsh. Yeah, I'm going to take... I just don't like going against KC, but likely going to take Castillo over him. I mean, that's not a good game because it's against the White Sox, even though they won. Mets. So he's got some pretty good outings. Not going crazy deep, 5 and a 7, which is not what we like to see. So he's getting shelled lately. Yeah, I'm gonna go. It's not a fade. It's not a fade Marsh, but I just like I like the Mariners better. I think they're a better team too. Not by much, but a little bit. We're going Castillo over Marsh, but they are at KC. I don't know. Is that game going right now? What is it at? I feel like it is 7. Oh yeah, they got 7 in the first. That's right. Man, getting shelled. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Mariners over Marsh. We'll see where the line is at for that. Sketch, because KC at home, but check odds. All right, almost done. Coming in, what are we at time-wise? So I can see 23, not bad. All right. So maybe these will be like 20 to 30-minute videos-ish, around there. 3 and 5. Again, this is a big slate, so this is one of the longer ones. 2, 6 and 5. Got hit hard there by the Phillies. Okay. 4 and 4. Padres. Man, so he's getting shelled a lot, but they are by better teams. But I'm likely going to always fade the Rockies anyway, for the most part. Just not that great of a team. Going up against the Cards too, minus 185. Hate that. 2 and 7, 7 and 6, 4 and 6. All right inning, or all right outings. 2, 2, 5. Not great against Boston. Okay. Yeah, we're still gonna take him. I don't love that, just because he has kind of gotten shelled a little bit, but it's more fade Feltner. And Cardinals at home. Guardians, Marlins. Almost always just going to blindly fade the Marlins if the Guardians are playing them, but Lively's pretty good too. 2.84. 2 and 5, 1 and 6, 1 and 4, 1 and 6, 3 and 5, 3 and 5. Yeah, he's a stud. Not too many bad outings there. Who does Miami have? Munoz. Oh, so it's probably a bullpen day. Oh, they have him starting too. 2 and 5, 1 and 6, 6 and 4. Okay. Yeah, I'm still gonna fade the Marlins kind of blindly just because the Guardians are a fantastic team, but Lively's also a stud. Plus bats. Dodgers, I'm going to stay away from this most likely. Just these two teams are so solid. It's hard to choose. Stone is a good pitcher as well. 3 and 5. 5 and 3. That's a bad game against the Cubs. He's kind of pulled it around since. Wins 4 against D-backs. Okay. Pretty good. Pretty good. Nestor's kind of been struggling a little bit, but he's also a stud. 4 and 5, 3 and 5, 0 and 8, 4 and 4 against the Guardians, against the Astros, at Houston. 3 and 7, 4 and 6, 2 and 6, 4 and 5. Yeah. That is tricky. That is tricky. I'm going to lean Dodgers, but I'm going to go Stone over Cortez, but it's the Yankees at home with better bats. I'm likely going to stay away from that game, but we'll see. We'll see where the odds are at. Minus 125 isn't terrible, but it's because it's against the Dodgers. Yankees money line has been money lately. Taking it a lot. What happened in... Okay. Lost 2-1, so I pushed in that on that bet. So I need Cleveland to win or just lose by 1. It's annoying, those two teams, but whatever. Nelson. 4 and 2, 3 and 5, 1 and 6, 0 and 2, 4 and 5. So he's getting shelled. Getting shelled. Going up against the Padres, who are one of the best hitting teams in the MLB. Matt Waldron on the bump. 4-4, 0-1, 5 and 4 against the Blue Jays. 1-6, 4 against the Reds. 7 against the D-backs. It's a good little stat point there. So he's not bad, but I'm going to take the Padres for a fade on Nelson. This is also where some of my leans are coming in. Actually, 2 of them. Fade Nelson plus bats at home. And then last but not least, Hunter Brown versus Tyler Anderson. Hunter's been getting wrecked this year. 0-4, 5-3, 9, not even in 1. Man, Casey put a whooping on him. 2 and 6, 3 and 4, 6 and 5, 2 and 4, 1 and 5, 4 and 5, 2-6, 1-6, 3-6. Okay, so likely going to be fading Tyler or Hunter. Tyler's the other dude. 3 and 4, 1 and 7, 2 and 5. Bad game against Pitt. This guy's a stud though. He's been doing pretty well and going relatively deep into games. The only thing is the Angels are not that great of a team. I don't know. I lean Angels based on the pitching matchup. I might try and take like a 1.5 because Houston's favored it. If we can get the plus 1.5 for the Angels, I might take that. Fade Brown, but Houston better. Angels at home. Look for plus 1.5. Cool. All right, so that is the notes that I take for every single day. I'm going through these. We'll have to another big slate on Sunday. There we go. A little bit lighter on Monday. She's hot. But yeah, I'm doing that regardless every single day for my analysis, and then we go in and look at the props. So for the first one, I got Tatis over 0.5. Assuming his line is 0.5, it may be 1.5. Depends, but I like the 0.5. Kind of just depends on the juice where it's at. But fading Nelson. So that's his name, right? I believe. Yeah, Ryan Nelson. The Padres have some of the hottest bats in the MLB. I believe they're pretty close to ranked number 1 overall in batting average. But Tatis is a stud, so he's hit it in what? 14 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games straight. 14 out of his last 15. So pretty good stats regardless, but fade Nelson. So Tatis for one of them. Jose Ramirez over 0.5. And this is because we are fading. Where are they? Where'd they go? Oh, it's not going to say in that one because that is on today's games. Where are the Guardians? Why am I blind? There we go. Munoz. So I went in and looked at. There we go. His stats. He's just been getting shelled, and I think that a good fade candidate is the Marlins tomorrow. So I think that Jose Ramirez is a stud. He's 12 for his last 15, multiple 2-hit games. So I'm assuming that not assuming. It may be a 1.5. I don't like the 1.5. Take the 0.5, if anything. But I think that just fading Marlins tomorrow is going to be a good one. So that is what I'm leaning for the second. And I'm going to come out and I'm making the short form video tomorrow morning anyway. So these may change. They may not be the props that I take. It's just going to depend on the juice and whatever. But we will see how it comes out tomorrow. And then the last one is Jurickson over 0.5. He's been a little bit cold in his last 15, but he's still, he's hitting like 300. Yeah, 323 on the season. And again, fade Nelson. So I think that it's more of a narrative play on the fade Nelson part than it is for Jurickson just stat-wise because he has been a little bit cold. But I don't think that we're really going to have to worry about it. His line is definitely going to be 0.5. It won't be 1.5. But fade Nelson is where we are going for that. So I wish I had a slip for you guys. I do not, but that is kind of my analysis. This is what I'm doing every single day for MLB. And it's how I kind of come up with the hits parlays as well. It's a little bit more stat driven and not pitch up driven in the very beginning, like I was telling you guys, just because we didn't have that much data points to go off of. But now that it's like 60 games into the season-ish, around there, we got plenty to work off of. And so that's where the pitching analysis really comes into play. You're looking for guys that are struggling recently, how they've done over their entire season, etc. And that's kind of how we go about it. You got to understand how the games are going to go first before you can choose your player props. Because if a guy is crazy hot, just stats wise, it looks like he's about to continue the streak or whatever, but he's facing a very, very solid pitcher. Then you gotta take that for what it is. You got to look at the matchup first. So it's kind of how I go about it. But that is what I got for today's video, guys. I appreciate you if you watched all the way through. It's a long one, so thank you if you did. If you're just looking for the slip, sorry, you're going to have to go in and look at the entire video and see what I did there. But that's what I got for you guys in this one. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.